The world abounds in change through man's ability.
You never did a vid jam?
I judged one.
Oh, really?
From the comfort of my bedroom.
Okay. That's the best way to do it, honestly. I don't want to hang out with the kind of people who go to the theater for a vid jam.
It was hard to judge, though, because, like, it was the horror one he did. Like, I think the first horror one he did.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
And, you know, some of them were, like, movies made by little kids.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, well, they're made by little kids, so it's good for a movie made by a little kid, but...
But, like, is it good?
it in the scope of a contest, this is really bad.
So how did you end up rating those?
Oh, I rated them bad.
As you should.
Yeah.
Fuck those kids. I mean, don't fuck kids.
No,
but...
don't. Those kids need to learn.
Now they've turned to drugs and crime.
Yep.
It's all my fault.
Hey, someone.
I didn't even need to have kids to ruin someone's childhood.
Exactly.
Someone needs
Welcome
to
to
keep,
Falcast, everybody.
Someone needs to keep the drugs and crime flowing.
Yeah.
What are the cops going to do?
If the new generation doesn't get into drugs and crime, we're not going to have any problems moving forward.
I'm Josh.
I'm Ken.
I'm Doug.
Speaking of Doug's and crime.
What did I do?
Speaking of, hopefully.
What did I do? When did I do it?
Boats and hose.
What's the statute of limitations?
Drugs and crime.
Oh, no.
They got me. They found me. I don't know how, but they found me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a good band.
It's also even better line from a movie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What?
It's from Back to the Future.
Ah, okay.
Nope. When I moved out of Bev's house, 2 days before, I got a summons for jury duty. And I called and I was like, in 2 days I'm going to be in a different county. And they were like, okay, never mind. You're free.
They came after you.
Well, no, not came after me, but now my current county
Oh.
has summoned me
Okay.
for jury duty.
But you know the way out of it.
Just tell them you're going to move.
Yeah.
And then move.
I've got like 2 months.
Do you think they really follow up?
Probably not.
No, I highly doubt
I mean,
it.
these days they definitely don't have the resources to follow up on that.
Yeah.
They've got no staff anymore.
Because when I called and I know they don't follow up or care, because when I called that first time, I was like, hey, I'll still come. I just want to let you guys know that I'm not a Dauphin County resident anymore. Is that an issue? And they were like, oh, never mind. That's fine. That's all it took.
Well, I will remember that.
Yeah, so.
I have... Every time I say this, I'm worried I'm going to jinx it, but it still hasn't happened. I have never, ever, ever received a jury duty summons.
Yeah.
I got one.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got out of it.
How'd you get out of it?
It's just like, this is my only job, and I'm making no money.
Yeah.
If I spend like a week at jury duty, I can't pay my bills. And they're just like, yeah, don't come.
Mm-hmm. It's good that they're willing to, like, hear something like that. Because you hear all these horror stories about, they're like, well, if you don't come, we're going to send you a citation. Like, oh, okay, cool,
Good
because
luck
I can
finding
afford
someone
that.
to try my case.
Yeah, right? Also, good luck
That's
collecting on the ticket, because, like, I don't have any money.
That's going to be my case. That's what I'm sitting on. Like, people that couldn't go to jury duty.
We all just have to band together and not go to jury duty.
Well, if that's the case...
And they won't be able to prosecute anybody.
Well, if that's the case, then the people that are in the jury, everybody will be guilty because everybody on the jury is fucking annoyed that they had to do it and this person got out of it.
Uh-huh. Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
I don't know. Whatever.
Thinking about how understaffed every government agency that exists is now kind of makes you just, like, want to stop giving a fuck, right? Like I could probably just do whatever I want, and they'd never actually come after me for it.
I mean, I think it's more scary because, like, you look at the IRS, They don't have resources to go after any big fish.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay, because the IRS is going away soon.
Yeah,
Didn't
exactly.
you hear?
Yeah, I heard.
Because they're going after criminals, and we can't have that.
Well, I heard that this the bill to dissolve the IRS was part of the bargain that they struck with the crazy, like,
Yep.
the alt-right Republicans to get them to vote for what the fuck's his name? Rue McClanahan.
15 time.
15 goddamn time.
Rue McClanahan.
Right. I don't remember the guy's name, so I just picked something.
Well,
I
I think it's mixed
started on
something.
Golden Girls, and then I threw a curveball in there.
Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah, Kevin McCarthy. I downloaded Golden Girls to the Plex recently.
Yeah?
Sam immediately started watching it. He didn't say anything. He just like saw it and started watching it. And I happened to notice.
I don't know if you or Casey were watching Happy Endings, but that is a fucking fantastic show, and I'm glad that one of you did.
That must have been Casey.
I fucking miss Happy Endings.
What's Happy Endings, Precious?
It was a 20 years later Friends. You know, just a group of friends sitcom.
Okay. Yeah, that had to be Casey. I'll have to ask her about that. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I fucking loved that show, and then they just up and canceled it.
Kind of like, what was the one with, what the fuck's his name?
Rue McClanahan?
Yeah. Betty White. No. It was, Mandy Patinkin.
Oh, Dead Like Me.
Dead Like Me. Now, that was his fault that they canceled that show, I'm pretty sure. That was Mandy's fault, I think.
What?
Like, apparently he was holding out for more money.
Oh,
And-
Mandy.
Right? He was
Mandy,
like,
Mandy,
he's like,
Mandy.
I'm not signing this contract unless you pay me more. And they were like, we don't have the budget to pay you more. And he's like, then I'm not coming back. And they're like, okay, everybody, sorry, show's canceled.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I didn't know that.
That's what I've heard.
Oh man, I fucking loved that show. And then they came out with a movie to wrap it up, and the movie was just terrible.
It was so disappointing. It was a lot like B. Arthur, Serenity.
Oh, I like Serenity.
I didn't think it did a good job of tying up Firefly, though.
I didn't think they needed to kill some people that they killed.
Yeah.
But I like Serenity.
You're watching this. You get one season of a TV show and a movie, and the movie they're just fucking offing motherfuckers, and you're like, what the fuck? This is all that we have. This is
show
all
is-
you got to
yeah.
wrap it up. That's how you do it.
Knowing what we know about Joss Whedon today, it just
Wow.
makes sense he'd kill a bunch of people.
Fucking Joss Whedon.
He was very fucking murdery. Game of Thrones had nothing on him.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he'd fucking kill everyone. Dude, Joss Whedon was just like, alright, you fucking crossed me, you're dead.
Huh.
It's a show based in supernatural shit, so maybe you could pop up as a ghost sometime or something, but you're fucking dead.
Yeah, and then when they kill you, they use the fucking Knox gelatin on your face, and it just smells awful and sticks to your skin. Nobody wants that. I wanted that once. I was wrong, though. I didn't actually want it, as it turned out. I remember being super stoked for that effect. I'm like, oh yeah, just fucking slather it all over my face. And then midway through, I'm like, why does it smell like poo, though?
I have a picture.
The thing about that was, I pooed in the Knox.
I have a picture of you during that makeup process, and you just look like the Bukkake party just ended. You look like the most cum-covered little whore.
On the Garvey table for 12.
I have to find that picture. You're not having a good time.
The most cum-covered little whore. I'll take it.
Just the side of the river.
If there was a children's book about me, it would be called The Cum-Covered Little Whore.
Oh, I'm gonna go on Fiverr and see if I can get someone.
You don't even need Fiverr anymore, just Midjourney.
Oh my god. Have Midjourney write it at least.
Yeah.
And then send it to
Yeah.
someone on Fiverr if it doesn't give you any good illustrations. Honestly, just no, what is the Chat GPT?
Oh yeah,
Have
yeah,
that right.
yeah.
Yo, seriously, I forget exactly what I asked it. It was something ridiculous like write a song about God, what was it? It wasn't this, but it was along the lines of like write a song about tiramisu in the style of Sum 41. And it did it. It wrote a song. It was recognizably a song lyric.
Uh-huh.
About whatever I asked it to write about in the style of whatever artist. It wasn't necessarily exactly in that style.
Sure, but
yeah. I think I asked it to do
like...
William Shakespeare once, and it didn't spit it back in iambic pentameter, and I'm like, okay, this is unacceptable.
It was a good fan version of a Sum 41 song. Like a good parody of a Sum 41 song.
I mean, kind of.
Ish.
Yeah, ish. Well, today I learned that I owe the Knox Gelatin Company an apology for all those mean tweets that I sent them over the years about how their gelatin smells like ass. They actually suggested a couple of times, are you sure one of your friends didn't shit in the gelatin? And I said I was sure.
That was not your first mistake, but that was a mistake.
It was a mistake, yeah. First mistake was allowing you to put Knox Gelatin on my face. We didn't even use the scene.
I think he did.
Which
Which scene was it?
It would have been the scene where I was on the slab down in the basement. If we used that scene, we didn't use any part of it where you could see my face, I don't think.
I think we did.
Did we?
No, we did not.
I thought it got cut.
We did not. We used Hickey on there.
Because I don't think we actually used the scene where I got boiling water in the face either.
That got used.
Did it?
Yeah, that got used.
Because that was what the Knox was supposed to represent, was the burns.
Yeah. No, maybe we did.
Maybe we did like the Passover.
If we had used
we did
that
something,
scene, it would have held it all together.
Well, no, we did the neck skin tear. I know that's in there. So you had to have been. We had to have used something.
Yeah, you're right. Well, that definitely didn't make it into the director's cut, but a lot didn't make it. That's like 40 minutes long. I think it might be shorter than the original Recoil.
I was going to say, a good director's cut of Brothers Keeper would just be Recoil.
A good director's cut of Brothers Keeper would be throwing in the garbage can. No, it wasn't that bad. It's not that it doesn't deserve to exist. It's just that nobody should ever watch it.
It's not a good indicator of talent, ability.
Say.
Oh, if we could have got hard gay.
That would have made things.
Really?
Yeah, he changed his name. I forget what he changed it to, but if you guys...
It must not be that funny then, because I would expect whatever he came up with to be very memorable.
Yeah, you guys buy time.
Okay.
Talk about something, and I will find this out.
I'm not good at this when someone says talk about something.
Uh-oh.
Nope. Not good at all.
No, really not good at filling time. Just making sure there's no dead air.
Yeah, people use the term dead ass.
Yeah.
I've
People
heard
don't
that
use
a bit
it enough.
lately.
Or people
I
don't
love
use it
dead
right.
ass. Yeah?
Yeah. They just say like...
They just say dead ass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I work with people in their 20s. I'm getting old because I don't know what the fuck they're saying a lot of the times.
Uh-huh. No cap.
Don't know what that is. I sent a picture of my orange cat, and my one coworker was like, "I didn't know you had an orange brain cell," and I was like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's a cat." And apparently, it's like a Reddit thing. All orange cats share one brain cell.
Oh,
And I was like,
okay.
I don't know that.
100
me
years, I
either.
would have never come across that. So,
You know about glizzies, though?
yeah, well, yeah.
Every fucking place I go,
Yeah,
man.
glizzies are... We actually, in our D&D game, we have somebody who is a glizzy-based character. So, and ever since then, everywhere you turn, it's glizzies. I don't know why.
Our friend's daughter announced one day that she was dual-wielding glizzies because she had 2 hot dogs.
Nice. I don't know where it comes from.
I do. Do you
No?
want to hear where it comes
Yeah,
from?
please.
Glizzy was originally a slang term for a Glock, as in, like, the gun.
Yeah, okay, that
And
makes sense.
apparently hot dogs are gun-shaped enough that they just started calling hot dogs Glocks. But glizzies, because it's the
Yeah,
slang term.
okay.
Hot dogs became glizzies because they're vaguely shaped like a gun.
I don't see it.
There's no
I mean,
trigger or
I
anything.
guess if you have like a really long one.
How do
so
you rack the slide
has,
on a
like,
fucking hot dog?
Well,
Yeah.
that's where the bun comes in.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I got it. You put your ketchup
Okay.
in, and then you... Like
Rat
that.
tat tat.
You
But
like...
you got to be able to hold it, though, right?
Yeah, they need
So,
to
like, what
make-
are you holding it by?
Well, they need to make buns that are upon it like a handle.
They need to make buns that are like those little things that you'd snap your Wiimote into.
Yes. Why don't we sell...
Press the B button with the
need to
trigger.
we could, if we were... It's too late now, I'm sure. But if we could have got in early enough, we could have sold just like Wiimote accessories.
Hot dog buns?
Hot dog buns. Or just
We
hot
could
dog, like
still do it.
holders for hot dog buns.
We could still do it. As long as we could get that product out before the end of, like, maybe this year. I bet.
You think?
I think so. I think we get away with it. It's still just called glizzies now.
Yeah.
That's just what they're called. It's not like a meme.
Yeah.
It's not going to be dead
They're
in
not
a
hot
week.
dogs anymore.
They're not. Like, if you go to Giant, you're going to the glizzy section. That's how they have it labeled.
I have not seen that.
Like, you stop Marty in the aisle, and you're like, hey, buddy, where do I find the hot dogs? And Marty's like, beep, boop, beep. Oh, did you mean glizzies? They're back in the meat department.
Doug, I have a question. Do you talk to Marty?
More importantly, does Marty actually talk back?
Yeah, because
Do you not talk to
because
Marty?
Marty is just there to let people know if somebody drops some pickles. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Marty's like, beep, boop, beep, boop. There's some hot whore cum on the floor.
And I'm like, that's just me. I'm dripping.
Beep, boop.
Oh, no. Wait, does Marty actually come in your face?
This is on my face.
This is definitely not the first time I've told a joke about talking to Marty at the Giant. And, like, I know full well that Marty just cleans the floors and spies for the government.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing he's programmed to do.
Spies for the government, organizes a fucking insurrection.
And eat hot chip.
I walk up to him and like spits a ticket out to someone that tells you where to go.
He just monitored. It's that little eyeball thing. Is just looking for red hats.
Oh, my God.
Anytime I used to walk through Giant with my mask on and get like comments from fucking wackos, it was actually Marty.
Yeah.
He's just throwing his robot voice.
He's got a little cap on. It just says 1621.
Yeah, glizzy's everywhere. No, so Razor Ramon Hard Gay is now Razor Ramon Hot Guy.
I think this is a sign of rising fascism in Japan.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me
No.
at all.
Oh, I am a cum-covered little whore. And whoever was coming was diseased.
are.
It wasn't a really good makeup job, was it? Like,
Well,
it
that
wasn't
was-
worth it.
That was midway.
Okay, it got better.
Yeah.
That's very Clive Barker right there.
And then, yeah. That's where you stop in an 80s movie.
the grin on my the semblance of a grin on my face
Yeah.
is probably the most disturbing part. Why does he look happy about it? Have you seen Garth Marenghi's Dark Place?
You showed it.
I think I
Yeah.
probably at least forced some of it on you guys.
Yeah, no, I've seen some.
That reminds me of something to do with that
Yeah.
too. He's very much like a Clive Barker / Stephen King character. But we're not good enough to like approach the level of Clive Barker and Stephen King, so we get Garth Marenghi. Hot guy.
Hot guy.
Razor Ramon, hot guy.
Yeah.
Does he still go, say?
Probably.
Well, at least there's that.
Do we know why?
I have no idea.
He went to conversion therapy.
Wouldn't that be a hell of a storyline?
Fuck. They sent Hard Gay to conversion camp.
Oh,
They
man.
beat the gay out of him.
Hard Gay versus, what, Danoshiku Dino or whatever his name was, the other Japanese gay wrestler. And a loser goes to conversion therapy match.
Oh, man. And Hard Gay lost.
That would be amazing.
Do you think we could get him if we just wanted to do like a YouTube video?
I mean, you probably got to fly him to you.
Okay.
And it's not Hard Gay anymore, so you might have to put Casey up for him.
Okay.
You drive a hard bargain, but okay.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a couple seconds, but
Casey, will you entertain Hard Gay so he hangs out with us?
like, do you
It's
need
the
me to
last
suck his
time.
dick? I'm done blowing wrestlers for you, Doug.
That would be... I couldn't hang out with that guy.
You couldn't hang out with Hard Gay?
No. That would be too much for me.
I'm sure when the camera's off, he's pretty normal.
I would hope so.
What if he's even more, though?
Yeah.
I
like,
doubt it, because he
it's-
lives in Japan.
It's not that...
You can't get away with that shit there.
I'm sure it's hilarious, but I get the feeling that if he is always on, that's a bit much.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, okay, bro.
You could do maybe 10 minutes of Hard Gay at a time.
Yeah, I feel like it would be another Paulie situation.
I was going to say, we hung out with the Canadian equivalent of Hard Gay.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what he was.
If I ever run into Paulie and he asks me how and he asked me if you guys ever talk about that time you guys hung out, I'll be like, oh yeah, they said you're the Canadian equivalent of Razor Ramon. He'd be like, oh really? And I'd be like, yeah, what, yeah.
He'd be like, you mean Hard Gay?
Do you mean Hard Gay? Like, yes I do.
We should have mentally abused him while he was
Oh my
here.
god.
We should have gaslit him into making him think he was Razor Ramon.
I thought you were gonna say into making him think he was gay.
No, I wouldn't
Like
do
that's fucked up.
No, I
man.
would do that. Just like we would just like hammer him for like 10 days straight about, oh my god, dude, you were so much like, are you sure your real name isn't Scott Hall? And like he would be like about like, can you put that suitcase up in the bedroom? Like, holy shit, dude, you sound just like Razor Ramon. Say hey yo, oh my god.
What kind of clothes did you bring with you? What did you
Yeah,
you
come
pack?
on.
That is the exact shit he would wear
And he goes,
on a trip to Middletown.
Can you imagine if instead of the Paulie Shuffle on stage, you went,
Yeah. Oh my god, by the time we got to Johnson City, we'd be like, guys, everybody come around and look what we did.
he gets out of the car and flicks a toothpick at someone.
He's got the bandana on and shit.
That's our new pastime. Gaslighting our friends into being wrestlers.
psychologically traumatizing our friends into thinking they're professional wrestlers. Specific professional wrestlers. Not that they're like their own professional wrestler.
No.
They're an existing professional wrestler. Oh no.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Oh my god, what if you convince somebody? Nope, that's too fucked up.
I just want to send him back to Canada, thinking he's Razor Ramon. That's my end game.
Yeah.
Like he walks back in the Flying J's.
And then you later on like Ripley's Believe It or Not, you see this story about this kid who like went on a trip and came back thinking he was Razor Ramon.
I always thought it was wild that Eric just went into some like random Flying J's and found Polly working there.
Random, yeah. You remember our friend Eric? The guy with the camera. Yeah. He was just on a road trip with his parents into Canada, and they stopped at a Flying J's, and it happened to be the one Polly worked at. He was the first person to meet the guy out of our crew.
Oh, this is way back in the day.
Way back before
Way
we met
back,
Polly.
yeah.
How did he know it was him?
How do you
Oh,
not?
you know.
But like, if it was like, had people like talked to him on the phone or something?
No.
No, nobody knew what they were in for until they actually met Polly.
Yeah.
Eric,
And
could-
he
could've
didn't warn us,
Yeah,
yeah.
he didn't warn us.
What a dick.
He didn't warn us. He could have warned us. He didn't. No,
No,
he probably only hung out with him for like 10 minutes.
Right. Well, how would he have known that it was him?
I imagine he walked into this rest stop and he heard like coming out of the kitchen, put it in a casket, put it in a casket.
Oh,
Or like-
probably.
Like he could have saw like a stick. I don't know. I should probably follow up with that because that is interesting. Like we all knew what Polly looked like, but
That should have been our first clue, really, when you think about it.
Well, he didn't. He didn't look weird until I saw him in person. We'll say.
And it's like, oh yeah, he did look weird. I didn't see this coming. Fuck. I don't wear my Mr. Monster shirt, but I thought Homeland Security would get me. Polly, why? Because of the skulls and the knives.
Yep, that's what they're worried about. No, Homeland Security is generally totally cool with white people wearing skulls and knives.
You take one look at Polly and you're like, this guy is not going to bring
No,
any
it's not
carnage anywhere.
No.
Like,
so
This
you,
guy's girlfriend called him to make sure he's not cheating 3 times from the plane to baggage claim. He's not hurting anybody.
TSA is like, we're going to give him a bomb just to see what happens.
God, if we got him thinking he was Razor Ramon and he posted pictures of him dressed like Razor Ramon with the Cool Town Girls, his girlfriend would have lost her mind.
yeah, I'm realizing that I could have been a much worse friend over the years if you still call Eric your friend. And he didn't warn you about Polly. I could have been a total D-bag and y'all would still be hanging out with me. I'm not saying I was a saint or nothing, but...
Doesn't Polly? I'm pure machismo. God damn it.
The bad guy.
Would you just like keep saying that they were a lot like the wrestler that you wanted them to think that they were, or would you like try like advanced techniques? Would you be getting like hypnosis involved?
Not in that first trip.
Polly, give Bev the razor's edge.
He's like, I will jackknife that motherfucker every time.
Pretty in a casket. Pretty in a casket. It's a good song. Has anything happened in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, shit's happened.
Yeah?
Yeah.
think you owe me $1.
I do, don't I? I mean, I did put that $1 right there for you.
Yep.
Oh shit! Was it polyps? Was it big ass polyps? Because I think that's exactly what Ken wrote.
That's true.
Yo, you know what? They were big ass polyps.
Okay.
Huh.
I'm $1 richer. Did you shit all over the person?
That's a very interesting question.
Okay, so that's not a no.
When I woke up,
For clarification, you got a colonoscopy.
I got a colonoscopy.
Yes.
That Sunday I was taking the prep, and I expected it to be just like miserable because I've never heard a good prep story.
Sure.
But like, I
Would one even exist?
I don't know.
Like, who would be like, I prepped for a colonoscopy. It was amazing. Even if it wasn't that bad, it's never a good story.
I had a great experience preparing to have my ass roto-rooted.
But I mean, every like prep story I read while I was like looking up to see what I was gonna go through was like this fucking awful.
Yeah.
I was like violently ill. It was coming out every end, even holes I didn't know I had.
Oh no, it made new holes.
So like I took the pills at like 3:00 because I'd take like 4 Dulcolax, and I thought they were what was gonna get me like shitting, because like one of those is a daily dose.
And it has lax right in the name.
Yeah. Well, I took those pills, and 2 hours had passed, and I had shat. My stomach just gurgled a bit. So I'm like, okay. The 2 hours passed, and it was time for the Miralax. So I took like 32 ounces of Miralax, and I had to drink 8 ounces every 15 minutes. And another like 2 hours had passed, and I still hadn't shat. And I'm like, oh man, I'm in some fucking shit here. They're not even gonna do anything to me tomorrow.
Right.
You
Yeah.
haven't cleaned out the
Yeah.
prepared.
You're like, I've taken all of these laxatives, and it's not even gonna.
Yeah,
pay off.
I'm like, this isn't working, and I don't know why, because I followed everything to the letter. I fasted. Well, I mean, part of my asshole being broken is that my asshole just isn't very cooperative. If it doesn't have an actual piece of shit to push it open,
It's not doing anything then.
no. So I had to go to the bathroom and put the old fucking gloved finger up my asshole, and as soon as I did, it would just be like.
Man.
And that was like the opening of the floodgates. And then like every, I don't know, half hour I'd have to go back and do it again. So Sunday night I shat maybe like 5 times. Monday morning I had to take the second half of the treatment, was just finish the Miralax off. And I shat a couple more times that morning, but like when I'm looking in the toilet, I'm like, yo, that shit's still kind of brown. I'm going to get in there and they're going to be like, yeah, you didn't do your shit.
You were just looking for it to be like yellow,
Yeah.
just like bile.
Because like everything I read was like my shit was like clear. So I'm like, so I'm not doing this right. Like
That's what we used on your face.
yeah.
This isn't his first time.
A dirty little Bukkake whore.
But yeah, so I thought I was gonna get in there and like they're just gonna be like, yeah, we can't do this. You didn't do your shit. It's like, well, I did this shit. I'm broke.
That's why we're here.
Like, so I'm in there and I'm like sitting on the table. They stick the IV in me and everything, and I'm just thinking like, my asshole is still fucking bubbling here. I know I got some fucking gas. What is going to happen? Wheel me back
The only thing
there.
you can do is wait and find out, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Hey. You gave him you did what they told you. It's on them.
True.
And you're not the only one that's ever done it either,
True.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
They my last thought while they were putting me under was kind of a mishmash of things, because they bring out the anesthesia or whatever it is, which just looks like a big fucking marshmallow in a syringe.
Yeah.
I'm like, are they shooting a slug into my veins? What the fuck? And at the same time, I'm like, hey, I just want to... That's all I really remember.
Oh, no, hey, important thing.
Because, like, the doctor's not
All right,
hanging
you're
out and talking to
inserting.
you. And when everyone did come in the room, like, they're having their own conversation about things, and I don't want to fucking interject. Like, shut up and let me warn you. So when I wake up, the first thing the fucking nurse says is like, yeah, so we took out a bunch of polyps. And I was like, did I poop all over someone? And she didn't answer me. And I was like, wait, did you say a bunch of polyps? And she said, yeah, we took out a bunch of polyps. So I'm like, oh, she answered that question.
So she heard me.
So she heard me. And I'm
Should have just been like, oh, so you did hear me. Did I poop all over someone or not?
She's like, I feel like me not answering this question says the answer. You shit all over me. My husband had to bring me new scrubs.
No, I was the last procedure of the day.
We
So like
Darlene
they're rushing everyone out to begin with, and as soon as that chick moves, like the other nurse comes in, and she's like, "Do you want something to drink?" And I'm like, "Yeah, some ginger ale's fine." And while she's getting it, she's like, "All right, just sit up and put your shoes on," and because she's like trying to rush me, like it's time for me to fucking go home and party with some 17-year-olds, which I'll fucking touch on.
Okay. I'm glad you're going to come back to that.
Yeah, we're going to need to come back to that. I'm very confused.
So yeah, like she's got me like getting dressed while I'm trying to drink this ginger ale and everything, and right away she's like, all right, just go over that room there. I'm going to walk with you, make sure you don't fall. I go over and I sit down there, and like 2 minutes later, doctor comes in and he's like, all right, everything went fine. I'm like, did I poop on someone? And he didn't answer me. He's like, we took out a couple polyps. I'm like, okay, so he just moved on to the other thing.
She said a bunch of polyps. He said a couple polyps. So you pooped on her.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
We
opened you up, and we don't know what was shit and what was polyps. You're like, I told you I have trouble.
It was... So no one would told me if I shat. But if I didn't fucking explode on someone, I'm pretty sure when they put the camera on, I at least shit on the bed.
Yeah.
That's probably...
that
probably happens.
Shit was rumbling down there, and it felt more like it was more than just gas.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm pretty sure I at least shat. I wish they would... Even if I didn't shit on them, I wish they'd at least say, no, you didn't poop on us.
Yeah, right? Lie to me.
Yeah.
Lie to me like a fucking... Oh my god.
Like a kid at
lie
Christmas,
so
yeah.
much. Yeah. Or, you know what? Don't just say you did shit all over the anesthesiologist or something. Like,
No, so the anesthesiologist was in front of me.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the anesthesiologist doing down there?
There
maybe they were
was
just shadowing.
Just curious.
just watching.
there was the doctor and an older nurse behind me. So I think one of them may have got it.
Yeah.
If anyone got it.
So, the nurse that you asked who didn't answer you, though, was that the older nurse or was that a younger nurse?
No, she was a younger nurse.
So I'm guessing...
She may have got it too, though.
I'm guessing that you shat all over the older nurse.
I
Because she
think
probably
someone
would
got
have told
shat on.
you. If you shat on me, and you were like, did I poop on somebody? I'd be like...
I mean, you didn't know for 20 years that I shat on you.
I'm gonna need you to make up for what you did.
Yeah, you're buying me
In
dinner.
some way, yeah.
You
like
owe
a
me...
nice dinner.
Yeah, you owe me like 3 courses.
Take me to Alfred's Victorian.
At the height of style and class.
But no.
It's the Middletown.
When I went in there, like, after the one nurse got, like, the IV in and everything, they just closed the thing and they walked away and they kept having their conversation. And, like, the first words I hear out of her mouth are, like, so we were partying the other day with these kids and they really knew how to party. And I didn't think actual kids.
Right.
But, like, a couple sentences later, she was like, 17, 18-year-olds. I'm like, bro, you're older than me. You're at least in your mid-40s. You're talking about Tupac and wearing a gangster bandana.
What is up with you getting followed by these Tupac?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm...
Synchronicity there.
So that was... It was real sketchy listening to that conversation. I'm like, these are the Mike Perigines of...
The booty doctor.
of the booty doctor.
I think if you're a proctologist, you probably cut loose a little harder than like the skin doctor or whatever. You know, they probably do party, probably more than the rest of.
They probably party more than they should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you'd have to imagine, right?
I mean, you'd have to do it. You'd have to party too much.
Yeah,
It's the only way, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
You
I
have to party with 17-year-old kids.
I don't know about that.
No, I definitely don't
That
want
was
to
so
party with
fucking
17.
annoying.
Oh, God. Could not stand that.
I've traveled with 20-year-olds. 17 would be ridiculous.
I wouldn't want to party with me when I was 17.
I would. I'd party with me at 17 because me at 17 is essentially me now. I just fucking play video games and eat soft pretzels and shit. Like, the 17-year-old me isn't that different from me today. Been beaten down by life a little over the last 21 years, but hey.
The pop culture references would be different, at least in my case. I don't talk about Bronson Pinchot anywhere near as much as I did when I was 17.
a little more flagrant with racist jokes back then.
No,
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
When you're a kid, you know, it's shocking.
Don't fully realize the gravity of the situation.
Yeah, really.
Just shocking for shocking's sake.
I will be right back. I just don't want to do this here.
Oh.
Yeah.
That did not disappoint.
I really wanted to close the door because I knew you'd be able to hear it.
That
It would make it more impressive.
That did disappoint.
I knew it was going to be a big one. I didn't know what it was going to smell like, so.
Now, has that affected your ability to poop?
No.
No.
Huh. Has it improved anything so far?
No.
I mean, they're not in there now, so that is an improvement.
You do know that you pooped on somebody, though.
I have a very strong feeling that I did, yes.
Bones.
Yeah. But I guess at least I know I don't have a prolapsed rectum now.
True.
So that was a little jumping to conclusions of me.
And was it also...
I mean, it's a 3-episode arc. That was...
I
It was
mean,
a 3-episode arc spread out over like 3 months, too.
listen, when your shitter is swollen shut
and something falls out.
and something falls out and you got to push it back in every time.
Shitter swollen shut is like a hell of a tongue twister. A shitter swollen... Shitter,
Yeah, I can't say
shitter swollen shut.
Shitter swollen shut. No, I'm good with it.
It came out okay the first time for me, but...
Came out okay on the table too.
Presumably.
Yeah. So no prolapsed rectum or colon.
No...
I'm at least good there.
No, hemorrhoids?
Oh yeah, I got hemorrhoids.
Okay. So
So-
it was that and polyps.
That and polyps. Yes. Had some heavy duty polyps in there. Yeah. Gotta wait to find out what they are.
I was going to say, what is a polyp? You
Um.
know?
It's a growth.
Yeah.
So is a toddler.
I mean, it's essentially a benign or malignant tumor.
Yeah.
A tumor of some description. Okay.
I mean,
Lots of big clouds.
from the
a lot of it, we probably have them.
Yeah.
It's just something that happens.
Nobody's looking up
but
there.
nobody goes up there because it's not an issue for most people until you're at least 45.
Fair.
which is kind of fucked up. Like, they should be doing that shit a lot sooner in people because, like, I don't know if it's what we eat now. Maybe I'll get Liza in here to tell us all about how the manufactured food industry is giving us cancer. But, like, there is a huge bump in colon cancer in, like, younger people now.
I had I'm having the opposite issue than you. I can't stop.
Oh, man.
I have diarrhea like 4 times a week for a couple weeks now. A couple months now. I have my doctor's appointment. He's like, "Well, let's start with looking at diet." It was like a yearly health exam. So he was like, then we talked about that, and he was like, "You're coming up on needing a colonoscopy at 45, unless you have a history." I explained my mom had something, and he was like, "All right, so we want to look." He was like, "Typically, when we hear that, we want to look at 5 years before the parent had it is when we want to start looking at you." I was like, "Oh, well, then I'm good." So I think I'm good there. But yeah, I think my issue is dairy.
Oh, yeah?
I think my issue is dairy.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Cheese is so amazing.
Yeah. It's not a fun process to figure out what's causing your issues because you eat like rice and bananas.
You gotta do the elimination thing.
Yeah, and then try one thing at a time and see if you shit your brains out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, dairy is the main culprit. I thought spicy food at first.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're excluding pretty much everything else though, when you're like introducing dairy, that's gonna make you shit, even if it doesn't normally cause you issues, right?
It can.
Like, because you're not really supposed to be eating dairy anyway.
Yeah, right. It's just, well, for my situation, it's
the only one.
if I just eat this, is the response as extreme as I've been having. That's what.
See, I'm kind of weird with dairy because there are things I'll eat that will set me off and things I'm just totally fine with. And I think, oh, okay, I was just being crazy and I don't have a problem with dairy at all. And then I'll go back and eat things that set me off and it's like, oh, nope, you know what, that's not good.
Well, my doctor was like, because I was like, I don't know if I have like IBS or Crohn, and he was like, the way you're describing it, and he was like, have you heard of GERD? And I was like, yeah, I've heard it. And he starts explaining, I was like, hold on, let me stop you. I have GERD.
Yeah.
I was like, not that I've heard of it. I was like,
I've been diagnosed with it.
I did the table and the barium and all that. He was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was like, well, some food is causing.
Are you not my doctor? Should you not know this already?
Well, like, he was like, because I take Prilosec because it comes up. And he was like, well, if it can't come up, it's probably
Gotta
trying to
go
get
down.
up. I was like, okay. So, yeah. No more fun food for me, I guess.
I don't know, it sucks.
I think my biggest pet peeve in life is when your doctor doesn't know your medical history.
Well, I give him a pass on that one because it was a different doctor.
Yeah, but he should have, like...
It was never in a chart or anything.
It was never in a chart?
No.
Okay.
No.
Like, I've had doctors... Granted, this is usually the first time I see them, tell me that I need to start taking ibuprofen. And I tell them, well, I can't have that. And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, I have an aspirin allergy. And they're like, oh, you shouldn't take that then. Yeah, so you know how this is my first visit to your office and you make us fill out a form when we're waiting for you and it says, do you have any allergies? And like I put in it aspirin in all caps. Was there not a reason that I filled that form out? Also, you're in network.
Yeah.
Like, you're in the same health network that I always go to, and, like, all of that information is in my file.
I know that my doctor has stopped seeing me. He's handed me off to his PA. I like the PA. And I know he's reading the questionnaire, because he was like, okay. He brought it, and he was like, so on this questionnaire, you said everything's fine, but it said your pain levels at an 8. And I was like, oh, I misread that. I'm sorry. And he was like, what did you... we were laughing. He was like, what'd you think it said? I was like...
Everything's fine and my pain level's at an 8. Like, mind-shattering, excruciating pain. But everything's totally cool.
Yeah, and he was like, what did you think it meant? I was like, I thought it meant how much pain do I think I can withstand? He was like, we wouldn't ask that question.
I've had a dentist ask that question.
How tough are you, motherfucker?
Kind of.
1 to 10.
Like, you remember that time I said that I was having a
Yeah.
tooth extracted, and I had it was infected, and so the anesthetic wasn't doing anything.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I mean, do you want to wait? I'll give you antibiotics. And I'm like, no, you've already injected me like 4 times. Take the fucking tooth.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that was. It was like, do you really want me to do this? Can you take that kind of pain?
Yeah. Yes.
See, at least yours gave you the option. Mine was like, we can stop now. I'm like, yeah, let's stop now. Bam! Oh, too late.
Jesus.
That was an 8.
Yeah.
What would you say yours was?
That was when I went into like shock.
What do you call that, a 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say going into shock probably put you at a 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was some shit.
I bet he was walking out of the room like, no way, he's an 8. Me, my doctor.
That was some shit.
He's a 6 at best. Soft motherfucker. Damn, Kev, I didn't know you were such a hard ass.
When Casey went in to have her gallbladder removed,
Yeah, I remember this.
they asked her right before she went into surgery where her pain level was at. And she said it was like an 8. And I was like, bitch, you just said this is the worst pain you've experienced in your life. That's the definition of 10. That's the definition they give you for 10 when they ask you for a 1 to 10. And she's like, it's like an 8. I'm going to let you go because you're going in for surgery right now, but we're talking about this later. You cannot say, this is the worst pain I've ever felt. And they say, okay, so 1 to 10, 10 is the worst pain you've ever felt. And you're like, 8. And then, when she woke up from coming out of surgery, I was there, and I said, hey, guess what? And she was like, you love me? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, just say it. I don't have time for this shit. And I'm like, I want a divorce.
This doesn't sound like an 8 to me.
Right. You know what? I'm just going to put it on the table, thinking maybe we shouldn't be married anymore. That's just how I feel right now.
She's like, me too.
I mean, I will say, like, when you're looking at those pain charts,
Yeah.
and they try to break it down where you are, and you're like, can I live like this? Maybe. I bet it could get worse, so I'm going to dial it back from a 10.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say maybe it's like a 9, maybe an 8.
Uh-huh.
So I could see downplaying it, thinking like, okay, this is bad. How much worse can it get?
Because I think 10 being the worst pain you've ever experienced.
Makes it very subjective.
Yes.
Yeah.
It should be the worst pain you can imagine.
I don't know. It's gonna be subjective no matter what.
Yeah, it is. But I think at least having it be like, you can't think straight, you're in so much pain is a little more clear than the worst pain you've ever felt. Because, you know, if the worst pain I ever felt was, I don't know, if I broke my leg or something, that's a lot different than like my guts are falling out and, you know, I've been disemboweled or something. You know, the worst pain you can imagine, yeah, that's probably a 10.
And like on the hospital chart, like if you're in the hospital and you look over at the chart, their little 1 to 10 scale, it doesn't like accurately describe what each number means. They just put like a little face above them.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, how do I feel based off where those faces are? But then you look at like the actual like textbook description of them. And it's like,
That's way too cute.
Yeah.
yeah. They're like, 5 is fucking misery.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
The textbook says 5 is fucking misery. No, when I had that tooth pulled with the infection, my existence was pain for a couple of seconds there. And I think that I call it an 8 because I could imagine it hurting more.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not sure that's true. I'm not sure that I could actually conjure up in my mind something hurting more than that hurt. I'm just guessing that it's possible.
I feel like if you feel it, like it's one of those things like you don't know what an orgasm feels like until you have one. You don't know what a 10 is until you've had it. Like once you hit a 10, you're like, okay, now I know what that top level is.
That's so much less fun than the first time you have an orgasm.
Yeah.
That's just, oh, did I come? When you feel 10 pain for the first time, you're just like, ah!
Did I come?
Did I come?
I don't think it's like. Did I come? And
That
then
was my
like,
reaction.
oh yeah, I did.
That was my reaction the first time. I was like, oh shit, did I just come? Wow. Okay.
I got a cramp in my leg.
Like I went to the bathroom and was just like, yeah, it's looks like some spunk. Well, I mean, I didn't know what
Caught it right out of the
I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't want to get it all over the place. I didn't know how much was going to come out or what it was going to do.
You shot and you caught it right out of the air like fucking.
I mean, you can
Jackie
choose to believe
Chan.
that. That's fine. Like, that's badass. Weird, but badass.
I'm going to try it now, though.
Right? Shit. Oh, guys. I missed you guys.
I kind of got played by a stripper. I didn't actually get played by a stripper, but I left the strip club.
Almost being.
And immediately I texted Rob. I was like, dude, I think a stripper wants to fuck me.
And of course, Rob was like, eh.
He's like, yeah, get it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what Rob's. Yeah, no.
I was like,
I don't know how reasonable a person Rob is, because when I hear it's like a stripper wants to fuck me, I'm like, she probably doesn't. She just wants your money.
exactly. But like, the interaction came after she had my money.
I see.
She was like,
Did she know she had all of it?
yeah. It was after I was like, all right, I'm
tapped.
done now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go watch other people now. And she's like, all right, do you have an Instagram?
And
like,
Instagram.
That might be where she does her hooking.
Oh, yeah,
I was like,
true.
yeah.
Baby birds.
She's like, all right, do you have a picture on your Instagram so I would know it's you? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, because I don't really accept people. I'm like, okay. And she writes down her Instagram thing for me. I take it and I'm just like, okay, this is weird. And I just kept running through the scenarios in my head. I'm like, the money's already off the table for now, so why is she like giving me her private Instagram?
Well, it's a way to get her OnlyFans or something out there too.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Was there a link to OnlyFans?
Yeah, I got in the car and I texted Rob and I was like, she either wants to fuck me or she's trying to sell me something. It's like, well, maybe she's trying to sell you a hand job. I was like, yeah, I'd
So a
buy
little
it.
bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I'm like, I'm about to bleed out my asshole in a couple of days. If I'm gonna get a hand job before I go, okay.
Absolutely.
Well, no, when I finally got home and actually looked at it, I'm like, oh, there's an OnlyFans link, and she's never going to accept me. She just wants me to go there and actually see her link.
Yeah.
Did you follow her?
I followed the Instagram. I didn't follow the OnlyFans.
Right. Did she follow back?
No.
Oh.
No, she totally forgot I exist.
So, it does make it a little bit weird that she was like, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't usually like accept people on Instagram, but like if there's a picture that I can tell it's you.
Did you see how many followers she has?
She didn't have very many.
That's so
And
weird.
like when I went there, like her real person profile popped up. Like, okay, so yeah, this is just like her side hustle profile.
Building her brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd have given you her personal if she was trying to fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I guess. Like I've never had a sex worker try to fuck me unless I was paying them specifically to do that.
I mean,
I was gonna say she might still be a hooker. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, you can find out.
I could. I don't know.
Would you?
I mean, yeah, I can't really be too picky these days. About to find out I have colon cancer.
Oh, no.
So.
Fuck. I'll fuck anything that moves.
Like I got to get there before they take my asshole and the radiation melts me.
I mean, as long as it still works, you don't have to worry about if it's potent.
I don't know if it does still work. Like I imagine like once you get in there and like start working around the fucking
I don't know what we're talking
nerves and shit.
We're talking about the asshole or your dick?
The asshole.
Okay.
But like when I was reading about how they repair prolapsed assholes, like they frequently like nick the nerve that fucking makes your dick work.
The trigger?
Yeah.
The dick trigger.
The dick trigger.
Yeah.
That sounds like a NASCAR driver.
So like
Trigger.
I imagine if they get in there and they're like cutting my asshole out, maybe my dick goes with it.
They might fuck your dick up.
Yeah.
I bet that's specifically
Well, it
in
just
the
stops
waiver.
your dick from it stops it from getting hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's really all I got.
Can't they cut that thing to make your dick longer while they're in there?
Oh, they could.
They could.
Yeah.
But I heard that it makes it, like, hang down.
Yeah, it doesn't go straight out then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to have to hold it in position while you're fucking.
But I mean, I'm not fucking anything, so.
I mean, true, you're holding it either way as it stands. But, like, I mean, if it got significantly bigger, you want to take it out for a spin, right?
Right.
That's
but
the time
like,
to do it
A
for
meat
sure.
spin.
God damn it.
Yeah. I don't know. Ultimately, I'm too much of a chicken to actually get a hooker. I think it's way too risky.
What if...
It's risky.
Like, not just for, like, legal troubles, but no idea what you're going to get.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Robbed.
What if...
Oh, yeah,
VD.
that too. But I was
Rob-
specifically thinking,
yeah.
like,
VD or
herpes,
robbed.
gonorrhea.
Yeah, there's a small window in there where everything's cool.
I don't know. Maybe I'll, like, open a Tinder profile and just be like, I have excellent credit. Come ruin my life while I'm still here.
I have excellent credit. Swipe right. For real, though.
I'm more scared of you than you are of me.
I'm a bear in every sense of the word. Up to and including the fact that I'm more scared of you than you are of me.
I don't have a humiliation kink. I just can't help it.
I have a question about the movie Lorenzo's Oil.
I don't know what that movie is.
Do you?
I don't.
Okay. I no longer have a question then. It's a weird memory in my head because I think that Lorenzo's Oil is about a boy who has a disease. Now, little babby autistic Doug watching this movie did not understand what he was watching, but he thought that the boy in this movie had AIDS. This was, keep in mind, the age of AIDS.
Right.
So everything was AIDS. My parents thought that I was going to get AIDS because I picked my gum up off the carpet and ate
Yeah,
it.
of course.
But I also remember there being a scene in the movie where I think the kid's penis dries up and falls off. And I don't think that happened in that movie.
Probably
And I'm pretty sure it doesn't happen when you have AIDS
Yeah,
either.
I don't think that happened in that
For a
movie.
long time when I was a kid, I thought AIDS would make your dick dry up and fall off. Like those little wafers they're like a little cylinder, and then they have the chocolate in the middle,
Yeah.
and you get them in they're like hazelnut
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, those-
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It was like one of those where it's like flaking off the outside, and it's just like. And I need to know, like, I don't want to watch that movie. It seems like a total bummer. But, like, I need to know if what I'm remembering happened in that movie, and if that movie's even about what I think it is. I could look it up, but...
You could, but then the mystery's gone.
Well, and it occurred to me while we were just talking, so... Fucking Lorenzo's oil.
Lorenzo's oil dried up on his dick. Lorenzo's dick
They
oil.
invented the oil so that they could keep his dick lubed up.
Lorenzo's dick oil dried up. No, that's not going to work for a title, Bob.
So I don't see anything in the wiki about his dick falling off.
Okay. He is diagnosed with a rare and incurable disease, but apparently it's not named?
It's ALD.
Oh. Adrenoleukodystrophy. Well, Lorenzo's oil is actually a real treatment.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't want any treatment named after a guy named Lorenzo.
Not even Lorenzo Lamas.
Lorenzo's gonna say fucking Renegade comes driving in. Oh, my cousin.
Fucking spinning roundhouse kicks you back down.
My cousin. There was no cooler person on earth than Lorenzo Lamas to him. Right, drives a motorcycle and he kicks people. Let's watch Renegade.
I remember watching Renegade when my parents would get home from bowling on like Friday nights.
Yeah.
Renegade would be on TV and Beavis and Butthead would be on TV.
Yeah, I remember sneaking Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch it in my house.
neither was I.
I was allowed to watch it at my
We
grandma's.
all watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all expressly forbidden from
Yeah.
watching it.
Mom's like, I don't want you. You can't watch that in here. I'm like, fine. Just watch
Whatever.
it at Nan's house.
Right. I had
Love it when Nan calls Pop Fart Knocker.
I had a TV in my bedroom
Yeah, so did I.
when I was like pretty little. Well, when Beavis and Butthead first came out. I would just wait until everybody else went to bed and just turn the sound down really low and just watch it in my bedroom.
I had it.
in
First
black
TV.
and white.
Oh yeah, my first TV was black and white too. I had that one was like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I had that.
I mean,
And no
by the
cable.
time we were 3 or 4, a black and white TV was worthless enough. It's just like whatever, throw it in the kids' room.
Yeah, I remember watching Superstars, WWF Superstars on it. That's my memory of that. Then I got a Magnavox with the VCR in it,
That was tight.
which I have an eBay alert set up for that TV.
Yeah.
Really?
I still want to get a PVM.
That ship has sailed, bro. You
Too
can't find
fucking
one.
expensive.
You can't find one for less than it. I was just talking to a coworker about that. That ship has sailed. Get a retro tank and an old PC monitor. You can replicate the same image.
I have a pretty decent Sony CRT out in the kitchen.
Yeah, and that's.
That's
Half the way
probably
there.
as close as I'm going to get.
I mean, I've got a PVM in my garage. It doesn't work. That died, and I was like, well.
Never going to get another one of those.
Yeah, I was like, well, and I found a cat kit, and I was like, well, it's dead. Like the picture was all fucked up, and everything's like, yeah, that you need to replace all the capacitors in it, and I was like, fuck it, why not try? One of them, some of them must be wrong.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, capacitors, you got to be really careful because they're polar as well.
Yeah,
So if
so-
you put one in backwards, it's done.
and it's about 400 of them.
Yeah.
Took me a week to do. So, oh well.
That's so disappointing. That much effort.
Yeah.
all that sweat and tears. Because you know what? I know for a fact you sweated while you were doing it.
Yeah,
and I would be willing to bet you cried at one point, too. Because I would.
The
400 capacitors in, I'd have cried.
It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was when I went to plug it back in, I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. This thing could shoot sparks everywhere because that's a highly charged cap. So I put it on a chair out in the driveway with the extension cord, and I walked back in and I plugged it in, and I was like, well, shit, I still got to go push the power button. So I pushed it and ran away, and it just gave me a fucked up screen. I was like, oh, all right, that was worth that. I mean, the cap kit was like $15.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Worth a try. When I was working on the arcade cabinet, I needed to discharge the monitor. And, like, there's no protective mechanism in place whatsoever. You go in with a screwdriver, and you go pop. And so I built, like, a discharging mechanism onto the screwdriver and, like, clipped it on. I was just, like, way back and just, like... and it literally is just, like... nothing.
No.
Better safe than sorry.
It's like one,
but you feel silly afterwards.
Yeah, but that 1 in 100 or whatever chance that you could fucking fry your nuts.
Right? Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the white elephant gift?
Mm-mm.
So our D&D group did a white elephant gift exchange.
Okay.
And I decided to I got a vintage set of Nintendo Hanafuda cards from, like, they're hard to date, but it would be like the late 70s, early 80s. So back when they were still primarily like a card company.
Okay.
They were just starting to dabble in video games. I thought that was a pretty cool little, like, historical artifact. And it's, like, also a piece of art, too. It's got artwork on it. But I was like, I can't just give a nice gift like that at a white elephant. So I put that inside of a joke box that said it was a 12,000 piece jigsaw puzzle that was just a uniform colored night sky with the moon in one section of it. It said it was 12,000 pieces. It said the pieces were a 1/4 inch wide. The front of the box advertised that it came with a magnifying glass and tweezers.
Oh my god.
But it was just a box. You just buy this gag box. Inside the box, I put the actual gift, and then some void fill, and then an empty box of Nutri-Grain bars that I filled with dried beans and taped shut and shoved in there, so that if they shook it, it would sound like there were puzzle pieces in it.
Nice.
It sounded just like there were puzzle pieces in it. And then I wrapped the whole shebang in wrapping paper that said, spoiler alert, massive dildo inside. And it went over pretty well. We went over, we put our gifts on the table, we were chatting, and somebody all of a sudden is like, I just realized what that wrapping paper says. And then he was the one who called it, and nobody stole it from him. Nobody stole anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they just kept
we had
what they
stealing.
took.
Everybody just picked a package and was perfectly happy with it. We're way too nice to do a white elephant.
Yeah.
And then when he unwrapped it, he saw that it was a puzzle, and he's like, clearly anxious, because he's like, fuck, somebody bought me a puzzle. I had to put the puzzle together. I'm in no way ever doing this puzzle.
Yeah.
This puzzle, I don't have a place in my house big enough to build this puzzle, and I have cats and a child.
Yeah.
I can't do this puzzle. And he's just like, thanks, man. That's actually really, it's a really funny. And I'm like, why don't you open it up and check it out? It said it came with a magnifying glass, and he's like, I'm so stressed out by this thing existing. And I'm like, you should open it up. And he's like, all right, I'll open it. And he opens it, and like one of the inner flaps just says like you got pranked or something like that. And he's like, okay, it's not a puzzle. It's not a puzzle. It's not a puzzle. It's not a puzzle. But for the rest of the night, every time he looked at that box, he's like tensing up.
Still stressed.
Yeah, it still stressed him out. I was like, well, it's a bonus gift, because I didn't tape anything to the box on purpose. So you can just re-gift something in that box, and you can keep the Nutri-Grain box full of beans so that you can make them think it's a puzzle too. He's like, I think it'll stress me out too much.
Have you seen any of the shit going on with Wizards of the Coast right now? That is fucked up.
Have you seen this?
I saw it, but I don't understand it.
So
It's wild.
they've had the open gaming license for quite some time.
2007 or something.
Okay. So yeah, quite a while. And it was basically to protect the right of anybody who wanted to like make third-party content using their system. Like the whole player's handbook and the Dungeon Master's Guide, I think were able to be downloaded for free from their website. It just doesn't include the artwork. It's just like a text-only version.
Everything that isn't a trade, like Beholder, wouldn't be in there because it's a trademarked. You can't use Beholder.
Oh, that makes sense.
Anything
Yeah.
trademark. Everything else is in that reference document.
So like that stuff was all basically considered open, not open source, or was it? It was a weird
There's the
definition
license,
of
and then
it.
there's the system reference document. You're allowed to use anything in the system reference document. It was like 300 pages of everything
Mechanics.
except for stuff with a copyright. And then you just need to link that, and then you're golden. You can sell that and do whatever you want with it.
So, Wizards is now working on 1D&D, which is going to be the next edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and it's going to be like supposedly basically all-encompassing, and apparently also compatible with 5e. I think that was one of the things.
Yeah.
But they were like, we are also going to revise the OGL, and people were like, that's ominous. What do you mean by that? And they're like, we'll have more details for you later. And then it leaked. Like a draft document leaked. No?
No, that's the first fucked up part.
Oh.
They keep calling it a leaked draft. It was sent to publishers, and they had 10 days to sign it.
Ah.
That's not a draft.
Okay.
And ever since
that
then,
is
they
even worse.
Yeah, they've been calling it a leaked draft.
They've been calling it a leaked draft because of all the backlash. Because they were like, if you sell more than like X amount or something, we get a cut.
Yeah.
And you have to
Like,
report any earnings and shit.
You have to report your earnings to us to make sure that you're staying honest with us and giving us your money if you need to. And so people were like, that's actually like super duper fucked and goes against the entire philosophy of the original license.
And in the OGL, in 1.0 whatever, it said this is forever.
Yes, we can't amend this.
Yeah, and in the new one there was text that basically said, we like your shit so much we're gonna take it now and it's ours.
So after the backlash, they released a statement basically saying, no, we were never going to do any of those things you're concerned about. Like, we sent this leaked draft was going to be run by everybody to get their feedback on it. We wanted feedback from publishers and from content creators and from the community. And then we were going to incorporate that into our actual next license. And I'm like, I don't think I saw anybody phrase it quite this way, but like on our Discord that our D&D group uses, I was like, they're literally asking us to believe that they only put that shit in there so that we could make them take it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, we would never compromise the original intent of the open gaming license. And it's like, but you did.
Yeah. And then
And I didn't even realize that they had actually sent it out for signature.
Yep. Sent out for signature with NDAs. And
Well, technically it did leak then.
Oh,
but it wasn't a draft.
No, exactly. It was not a draft.
Wow.
Some publisher risks their ass and sent it to Gizmodo, who broke the story. The verbiage they used in their messaging was so fucking condescending. It was like basically saying like rumors and we're not going to be bullied by mob mentality, and
we're not gonna buy your shit.
Yeah.
How's that?
Fuck you. Well,
and they realized that was the sentiment because I think today or maybe yesterday they released some shit that was just like, we're actually gonna like way go the opposite direction on this.
But one of the main guys that has been breaking the news was like posted a video and he was like, "This sounds good if you didn't know what I know."
Oh no.
Yeah, and he was saying like, you know, that their thing is now we're going to put it out there and there's going to be surveys about it, and then people can give their feedback. And he was like, they're trying to control the narrative because my inside source told me that they don't read the surveys, that they don't read, they look at the numbers maybe and they go, okay, that's it, fine. They're never going to read these surveys due to the corporate culture over there.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me much.
Yep.
They really are, like, they're definitely shitting themselves over this though, because like in the time since the leak, since the leaked draft, there have been an awful lot of companies, organizations saying, so we've got this thing that like will replace everything that Wizards of the Coast does for you. Yeah. And it's literally free. Yeah. FYI, you don't need them anymore. And they're like, oh fuck, they don't need us anymore. We have to keep them from finding that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and some of the leak, that inside source stuff, some of the leak changes they want to make, it's like AI DMs, because they realize that DMs are the only ones that spend money typically, so we need to get the players to spend money. So, hey, you want to cast Fireball? Got to buy it this weekend on D&D Beyond, otherwise you can't use it. Oh, by the way, $30 a month.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
When they started talking about 1D&D, a lot of people got excited. Pretty much everybody that I knew who was into D&D got excited, and they're like, this could be really, really, really cool. And I'm like, yeah, it really could be. And like, I'm not gonna try to fucking yuck your yum here right now, because like, I would be excited about this too if I wasn't quite as cynical as I am. But this is going to be a money grab, and they're gonna lock this shit down so hard. Yeah. And everybody was like, well, I mean, we know that's a possibility, but we'll see. And I'm like, we'll see when they lock the shit down hard. And then they did.
Yep. So, it's really fucked.
Like, I don't trust Wizards of the Coast, but even more than that, I don't trust Hasbro.
Oh, yeah. No, fuck that. I used to give them so much money between my collecting hobbies. They get nothing. I mean,
I would almost rather buy something from Nestle than from Hasbro at this point, and that's saying something.
Our D&D group uses D&D Beyond. I want to figure out a way to get off of it.
Yeah.
But one of the guys has everything. In there, and we all get to use it. Fuck. It's so much.
Okay, so you can just get all of it, though.
Oh, I have all of it.
Like,
we would just have to transition to paper.
Roll20.
But you have to rebuy everything on there.
Not necessarily. Like, I don't think you necessarily need... Like, you would have to keep track of certain things manually that buying a book on there might give you access to automating it in some way. But, like, honestly, their character sheets don't work that well anyway. I wouldn't trust it to automate it properly. Yeah. I think it'd be okay. Or use GURPS. Whatever. Yeah. It's been around forever. I'm pretty sure Steve Jackson Games has said that the current version of GURPS, which I think is like 4.5, something like that, is probably going to be the final edition. Yeah. Like, it's basically perfect. Been thinking about learning that system and just seeing what we
I'm learning fucking how to do it, how to do D&D right now.
We might be running some shadow runs soon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I've been talking about it for a really long time, and there are several other people who, whenever I bring it up, are also like, I would totally play some Shadowrun. And then there are even more people who are like, I don't know anything about Shadowrun, but I'm down for whatever. And if you guys are excited about it, then I am too. And so finally, somebody was like, I think I'm going to run some Shadowrun. Who's down?
Cool.
And we're all like, me. And so we created a new channel on Discord called Lore Dump. And now if anybody asks a question about Shadowrun and I want to just dump my brain on them, I have a channel to do it in, and I don't have to shit up the food porn channel. Talking about how we elected a dragon president of the United Canadian and American States. Which we did. We did, and he was assassinated just mere hours after being sworn in. He knew it was going to happen. He was in on it. It was a blood ritual.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, all right then.
He was sacrificing himself for the greater good. Best president we ever had. Best fucking president we ever had. Also interesting about the United Canadian and American States, they created a new state because they needed some buffer counties between Washington, D.C. and the Confederated States of America, or the Confederated American States. Virginia mostly went to them. But North Virginia became part of the greater D.C. metro area. And I cannot stop being tickled by North Virginia. I fucking love it.
They should have West Virginia and North Virginia, and that's it.
No other Virginia?
Like, you can't have those two directions. Like, it's got to be the opposite direction, otherwise it makes no fucking sense.
I want to do that and then be a geography teacher for, like, elementary school,
Yeah.
and teach the students that it used to be Northwest Virginia. It wasn't just Virginia. It was Northwest Virginia, and it split. It's like Czechoslovakia.
Oh, damn. I don't have games this week.
No?
It's been a week.
Mm.
I got a joke of the week if we're wrapping up though.
Okay.
Do you want to do? Do we have?
That's a game.
Yeah, we got some actually
Here.
we could do.
Yeah, we got some of
I
that.
think I'm just going to tear everything up if I grab it that way.
I mean, Josh, if you want to read the actually, I'll participate.
I think we got a milk jug too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
get that-
today's, yeah. Okay.
Get that
I'll
away
put
from
that
me.
aside.
I'm going to get
Right.
a contact eye. My ass might get a contact eye.
So what I was gonna say earlier was you should have gaslit him into thinking that he was Chris Benoit,
No.
but then I decided not to say that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Joke of the week, everybody. Good night.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you can just pull this whole tray out, like grab the divider.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's not. Or is it? Oh, it's like this. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that goes a little better.
So if you take, if you rotate it around, and if you take from this side, and then when you put it back, flip it around and put it in the back, it'll keep them rotating.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right then, gentlemen. Our subject is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I think one of the last episodes, Doug said, if we have one about 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, I wouldn't have no fucking idea. I think, like,
I'm gonna have no fucking idea.
verbatim that was said in an episode.
In Jules Verne's novel, readers meet Captain Nemo, who lives a secretive life 20,000 leagues below sea level in his advanced submarine, the Nautilus.
Oh, I'm actually. You could in no way be 20,000 leagues below sea level. That's way too long. He travels 20,000 leagues over the course of the book.
You know what? You are correct.
Wow.
Okay.
Nemo does not live 20,000 leagues below sea level.
It's a really, really long way down. You might be off the other side of the earth. I'm just glad that question wasn't about the book. I would have had no idea.
All right, this one might be a little more handleable
Okay.
by both people here. We got Battlestar Galactica.
Original or new?
It does not. Oh, both.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay, so this is standard B-Star G.
In both the original and rebooted Battlestar Galactica series, humanity is divided into 12 tribes, which form 12 different planetary colonies that spread out from Earth. In the newer series, the tribes are also themed after the 12 symbols of the zodiac.
This is going to be a real nitpicky one, isn't it? Nothing jumped out at me as immediately wrong from that.
Read it again.
In both the original and rebooted Battlestar Galactica series, humanity is divided into 12 tribes which form 12 different planetary colonies that spread out from Earth. In the newer series, the tribes are also themed after the 12 symbols of the zodiac.
Actually, in the original Battlestar Galactica, there aren't 12 tribes.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Actually, in the newer series,
I bet it's different with the older series.
it must be. Well, okay, so how about actually, they were also themed after the Zodiac in the old series?
Incorrect.
It probably wouldn't be. That was too Mormon to have anything to do with astrology.
Actually, humanity did not spread out from Earth.
I was going to say, was that in both?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Earth is the 13th lost colony in both series. Humans.
Humans.
Humans originate from a planet called Kobol.
Okay.
Oh.
That's right, yeah. Earth is the lost colony.
Which is an anagram for Kolob, which is where God lives in the Mormon religion.
There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty Mormon.
Here, in its natural habitat, on a tiny islet off the coast of Belgium, we observe the majestic and elusive joke of the week.
All right, gentlemen, and for our joke of the week, why don't one of you tell me what is green and has wheels?
Grass, I lied about the wheels.
Grass, I lied about the wheels.
Nice.
That's not one that anybody should ever get, but I love that joke. I should have just let you deliver the punchline. Just like, I know it, but do it.
Thanks for listening.
But you cannot fuck around with...
You're fired, Adam. You're all washed up in this business.